Alright, well, welcome everyone. I'm not sure if it's all streaming like it should. At the moment I am receiving a green light on my end. So fingers crossed you guys are able to see it. If you could just let me know if everything is actually viewable at the moment. I'm not 100% sure what on earth has been happening, but for some reason it just went haywire. So, welcome everybody. Let's try and run through everything. Hopefully I haven't been too thrown off by everything. Alright, welcome to the Sim Experience SA 2022 BMW M2 CS Racing Cup Season 1, coming to you live from Lime Rock Park in Connecticut in the United States. Unfortunately it looks like we're having issues again with the stream, so not too sure what on earth is going on. Alright, so let's jump straight away to the live timing. I am your host Dennis Mitchell. This is brought to you by Sim Experience and proudly sponsored by Alwin Automotive Glass and Aluminium. So we're a little bit behind, sorry about that. All kinds of technical difficulties. I'm not too sure why we're having the difficulties tonight. It seems like possibly an internet issue on my end. My upload seems to be going a bit haywire. So we'll try and catch up. Unfortunately we've missed a lot of the qualifying. So at the moment just under 4 minutes left in qualifying. So currently Jason Underwood sitting in provisional pole position with Chris Collison in second and Timo Smith in third. Basil van Rijn in fourth and Stanton Augustus in fifth place. So quite a shake-up of the results at the moment. We have also dealt out a few penalties from the previous rounds. Things were starting to get a bit out of hand, so we had to get the stewards involved. Unfortunately, one of the drivers, Sean Olivier, has got a race ban for his antics in deliberately taking out a fellow competitor. So he has been banned from this event and will be allowed to return again, but with a warning from the next round, sorry. And if he does it again, he will get a permanent ban. So he is on warning at the moment. We don't tolerate that kind of driving at Sim Experience SA. It's definitely not in the interest of the sport. And a few other drivers have also got some points penalties for some of the incidents that had happened in the race. So hopefully from this round on the racing should be a lot cleaner. And hopefully we can see it with the stream, hopefully now working like it should. So I've said hopefully enough. Hopefully I don't say it again. Alright, so I'm getting all kinds of weird warnings with the stream saying the bit rate it's lower than what it should be because I set it down just to see if it would work. So hopefully all is good and everyone can actually watch. It looks like the lap times will be incredibly close at the moment. Chris is now on provisional pole ahead of Jason. Timo still in third and Basil in fourth. So 2/10 covering the top four, 5/10 covering the top five. Jean-Andre Dippin also only 5/10 off, almost 6/10 off in sixth place. Peter Caldenes is there. Rian van der Westhuizen is sitting there nice in 8th place. Andre Hildebrand solid 9th place at the moment. Herman Nieuwenhout in 10th. Ross Human in 11th. Bjorn Buchner in 12th place. Milton Nixon 13th. Maurice van Wyk in 14th. Harvey Goos 15th. Peter Murray currently 16th. And Mika Abrams looks like he hasn't ventured out on track to do a lap yet, so only in 17th place. I'm not too sure what's happening with that. Perhaps we can go and have a look at and see what's happening with him. Okay, so he is on board. Sorry, on for a good lap. Getting a bit tongue-tied there. Thinking of too many things at once. Passed his first sector by a quarter of a second, and unfortunately half a second down in the middle sector, but he should still be on for a good lap here. Probably top 5. And indeed he goes 5th place. But that's pretty damn close. So great lap there from Mika. And Timo Smith is currently in provisional pole position. So everything's changing at the front. Jason Underwood is now demoted down to 4th as Basil has gone ahead of him. As we see Basil now also on for an improvement by the looks of things. Ross just moving out the way nicely for him. Of course Basil has, unfortunately run it slightly wide. Basil has joined us. He missed the round unfortunately. But back again, so teammates to Gendre, so we have 2 PZN panel beater cars on track tonight. So the complete team is here. Smith to the brake middle sector. So it looks like several guys with the potential to improve, but unfortunately too many of these kinds of incidents happening. Bang into the wall. So that car won't be going much faster after that. So currently the top 17 guys covered by 4 seconds, so that's a pretty close spread across the field. And the top 14 covered by 2 seconds. So Peter Murray I don't think he's had much time to practice, so I'm sure his times will improve as the session progresses. Alright, so apologies again for such a terrible start to the stream. I see the connection is going up and down, up and down. Hopefully it will be enough to give some kind of enjoyment of the race, and hopefully by the next round everything will be sorted. So a couple of drivers looking like they might be on to improve. Vicar Abrams is probably the one who's got the fastest middle sector, which I think has... Yeah, he's a 10th down in the first, but a 10th up in the middle, so it's going to be close. But he doesn't improve. So Mick will start from 5th place tonight. Alright, so there we have it. As the drivers have now completed their laps. I think Gendre is now currently on a lap still. Jason I think is on a lap still as well. No, Jason has completed. So Gendre is the only driver I think on track, and he's pulled into the pits. Alright, so let's head off to an ad break, and then we will be back shortly, hopefully with a smooth running race and no issues. are back. Welcome back, everybody. Before we get going with everything, let's do all our correct greetings of everything here. So welcome to the Sim Experience BMW M2 CS Racing Cup Season 1 of 2022, coming to you live from Lime Rock Park in Connecticut in the United States. This is round 4 of the 8-round championship. I'm the commentator Dennis Mitchell. Sim Experience SA is your broadcast director. So the schedule coming up for the rest of the season, we have currently round 4, then we have round 5 Laguna Seca, then round 6 Red Bull Ring, round 7 Tor Poznan, and round 8 Suzuka West. Let's have a look at our starting order. So starting in pole position we have Timo Smit from Chris Collison, from Basil van Rijn and Jason Underwood. In 5th place, Mika Abrams, our championship leader, from Stanton Augustus, from Jean-Andre Dupinal and Peter Caldenes. In 9th place, Rian van der Westhuizen. 10th place, Andre Hildebrand. 11th, Herman Nivert. And 12th place, Ross Human. 13th place, Bjorn Buchner. 14th place, Hilton Nixon. 15th place, Morris van Beek. 16th place, Robert Gross. And riding up the back, Peter Murray in the 17th place. Unfortunately, some of our drivers not making it tonight. Still a fairly decent field, so we have 17 drivers with us at the moment. As the drivers are prepared, get their cars hopefully lined up correctly, they don't get any issues at the start. So let's get our banner up at the top so we don't have anything obstructing our view. Great start there, with the jump, and Chris looked a bit slow at the start there, and indeed he was. Basil has got the jump in him. So it looks like Chris is even being passed by Jason there. And Mika coming around the outside there of Jason. Just sure what's happening behind him. Oh, it looks like I think Jean-Andre's had an incident behind. So a little bit of contact at the back there, not too sure what all has happened. Basil van Rijn having a great start there, up to 2nd place, challenging Timo at the moment. So it looks like several cars having incidents there, and unfortunately coming across onto others while losing it. Yeah, it's a shame for some of the drivers there. Alright, we're all green and away at the moment, so hopefully that's the last of the incidents for the race. So let's focus on the race at the moment. So currently we have Timo Smit from Basil van Rijn and Jason Underwood and Mika Abrams. Mika taking to the grass there. I think he was probably trying to go up the inside of Jason, and Jason was taking his racing line. And there was no space left, but Jason in defending is falling back slightly from Timo and Basil. Basil looking fantastically fast at the moment. Of course, the first lap or two you've got to wait for your tyres to get up to temperature, and most guys try and take it easy. As we see, Jean-Andre having a bit of an incident there, rolling his car. And he's now stuck on his roof. I'm not sure how that car got turned around, but it did. So a bit of an incident there between Jean-Andre and I think it was Ross Human. Looks like we have our first DNF, Peter Caldenes, unfortunately. I presume one of the victims in the turn 1 incident. As we see Mika finally getting past there on Jason Underwood. So Mika now going to have to try and chase down Basil van Rijn. All sorts of action happening at the moment, can't keep up with it. So lots of winners and losers at the moment. Rian van der Westhuizen, currently one of our losers, is in the pits at the moment. I presume to repair some damage. think one of the gainers was Bjorn Ruchner. He's currently up to 8th place, and Andre Hildebrandt in 7th place. So Andre having a lot of luck. Finally, he's had a lot of bad luck as well. Alright, so Timo is setting the pace at the moment on a 55.7. Basil van Rijn at 55.9. Jason Underwood at 55.8. And it looks like Mika has gone off somewhere, so I've missed that while looking at all the other results. So Mika currently sitting in the pits. I'm not sure what's happened to Mika, but that's going to be a hard one as Andre's now lost it. I think he just got a tire on the sand or the grass there, and it's come around on him. He was right up behind Bjorn Buchner there. Hopefully his car's not too badly damaged. Let's see, it does have a bit of damage. That's a shame. He was sitting in a really solid 7th place and challenging for 6th place. Hopefully he can recover from that, as we see currently Mika Abrams and Rian van der Westhuizen in the pits. We definitely don't want to be getting any damage here. Another one of our big gainers at the moment from last place in the grid, currently in 7th place, is Peter Murray. What a fantastic start he's had. So currently behind Bjorn Buchner, at a 10-second gap behind, and Andre Hildebrandt now behind him. Andre having a look up the inside there of Bjorn. Oh, sorry, was that Peter Murray? Yes, the inside of Peter Murray taking 7th place. Recovering from his previous spin, and there we see Peter Murray. Unfortunately, we don't have Peter Murray in his own car. He had to, for some reason, reinstall the game and managed to just get going in time. So, previous round he had his skin, but unfortunately it's been removed, so we'll have to reload it onto his machine. So next round he will have his skin again. It is the Waltech Racing skin. So currently Timo out front with Basil van Rijn still right behind him. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what happens as the tyre wear kicks in. Jason Underwood currently in 3rd from Chris Collison. So Stanton Augustus now in the top 5, Bjorn Buchner 6th, Andre Hildebrandt 7th. Peter Murray is still doing a solid job in 8th place. Right, just sort of choking on my own. Right, I'm hopefully able to speak again. Right, so while action is happening, let's have a look at the YouTube comments. I haven't been able to keep up with everything tonight. So it looks like everyone's saying the stream is now good at the moment, so that's a relief. So thank you to everyone for sticking around. Sorry about all the issues. So let's say thank you to everyone in the YouTube comments. Let's start at the top. William Brown, thank you for joining. Then Sevenster, thank you as well for joining and supporting. Hilke, of course, unfortunately not able to make it due to an injury. So Hilke, hope you back soon and recover quickly. Denise Abrams, of course, supporting Mika. And Joost also there supporting Jean-Andre. So welcome, Joost. Or was it Caroline Joost? Sorry, I'm not sure if I'm getting that right. So Jean-Andre currently on screen at the moment, unfortunately having a bit of a bad start. Himself and Ross getting tangled up. I think just as the result of another incident. They were just innocent bystanders. As they go over the crest, there's some of the cars, the front wheels actually getting off the ground. So Jean-Andre, I think, has got a fair bit of pace over Ross, but getting past is looking to be extremely difficult. I think Ross is probably making his cars as wide as he can. So they're currently fighting for 10th place. Jean-Andre having a look up the inside, Ross covering him off, but he might run slightly wide, but he can bring it back if he does. moment, these are the last drivers on the same lap as the leader. So after the first lap incident, I'm not sure if there will be any penalties applied from the following round. I'm not too sure who was at fault there, I didn't see it, so we will have to analyse that as we go forward to the next race. Our race stewards will go over that with a fine-tooth comb. So Jean once again looking at the back end of Ross. As we now see Herman looking at Peter Murray. Peter Murray getting slightly wide and onto the dirt there. So while we're having a look, everyone, let's have a look at our championship standings at the moment. So currently we have Mika Abrams leading by just 1 point after having 5 penalty points taken from him for unfairly taking out Timo Smith at the previous round. Jason Underwood 112 points. Timo Smith currently our race leader in 3rd place on 101 points. Chris Collison in 4th on 99 points, also having some points removed for taking out Mika Abrams at the 2nd round. Jean-Andre Dupinot in 5th place. Peter Feldenes in 6th place. Sean Webber in 7th place. Stanton Augustus in 8th place. Herman Nivert in 9th place, and Harvey Hoos in 10th place, doing a solid job in 10th place. So while we're seeing these two fighting, unfortunately the main season standings only gives us the top 10 for some reason. The next page never works. But I can show you the rest of the standings by doing an in-season standings option, which doesn't seem to work, but at least in that way we can see the complete standings. So in 11th place we have Maurice van Beek, 12th place Dani Stander, 13th place Rian van der Westhuizen, 14th place Sean Johnson, 15th place Ross Human, 16th place Andre Hildebrand, 17th place Hilke Verenica, 18th place Hilton Nixon, 19th place Peter Murray, 20th place Bjorn Buchner, 21st Basil van Rijn, who I'm sure will jump up quite a lot after his points tonight. Mario Claessen's in 22nd, Sean Olivier after his penalties he's now down in 23rd and not here with us tonight, and Stephen Castellan unfortunately hasn't joined us again after the first round, taking up the rear in 24th place. We see Peter Murray and Herman having a bit of an incident, and Ross Human coming up behind them as well. Not too sure what happened there. Looks like Ross is pulling over. And indeed he is. There's all kinds of carnage happening at the moment. I believe that was Basil van Rijn that had an accident now. So I believe Basil van Rijn spinning out there. And unfortunately lost out to Jason Underwood. So I'm not too sure what all has happened. Ross has also had a bit of an incident, and his car's parked precariously there on the track. Very, very dangerously. It looks like it's just been abandoned, and unfortunately everyone is being collected by it. Oh, that's a shame to see that. Hopefully the damage that people have sustained is not too much so that it affects them negatively. So a bit of a scrappy round so far from a streaming point of view and from an incident point of view. But we still have Timo Smith out front, avoiding all the incidents. Jason Underwood now behind him. Basil van Rijn unfortunately has slipped back to 3rd with Chris right behind him now, so I'm not sure if when Basil's gone off if he's damaged his car. So Stanton Augustus is currently still in 5th place, and Bjorn Buchner up to 6th place, with Andre Hildebrand still 7th. Jean-Andre Duppenau is now 8th. Peter Murray is now 9th, and then Herman Nieuwoud, Harvey Gross, Marius van Wyk, Mika Abrams 2 laps down after his damage and repairs. Rian van der Veste is also 2 laps down after damage and repairs. Hilton Nixon 3 laps down, so they will I'm sure Hilton will jump up as soon as he's done a lap more than what Ross has completed. Chris making a move there on Basil. Getting a bit sideways on the brakes, braking as late as he can, the rear end coming around, so I'm not too sure what his brake bias is set to, but it looks like it's set pretty backwards and rearwards so that the rear end is locking up and managing to hang on to it. A little bit of track knowledge, just a random track fact. The Lime Rock track is currently owned by the Skip Barber company, the company that makes the Skip Barber race cars. So this is their hunting ground, their own private track. Fantastic track, very well known to the guys that do iRacing. It's one of the free tracks in iRacing that when you start off with MX-5s, you will be familiar with this. There's someone going off in the background, I believe that was Hilton. Driving in Donnie Stunder's skin tonight, Donnie Stunder is unfortunately not here tonight. The Coast making a move there on Marius van Wyk. So Harvey now up to 11th place. Bjorn in his fantastic Gunston colours, coming under attack by, I believe that's Andre Hildebrand. It is indeed Andre taking the inside, giving plenty of room on the outside. Nice clean pass there. Not sure if he's made it. He has indeed made it stick. Bjorn getting a bit sideways behind him there. Beautiful old Gunston colours. Thanks to Rian van der Veste for creating that fantastic skin. Bjorn in his very well known Gunston colours. So Timo has managed to pull out a 2.6 second gap at the moment that we're not even seeing him. He's so far ahead. He's currently got the fastest lap of the race of a 55.654. I believe the next best is a 55.727. Yes, which is from Basil van Rijn, who's currently in 4th place. So at the moment he's got a bit of a gap between himself and Jason and Chris. So Jason and Chris, of course, are teammates for the All Above Racing team. So they'll be doing great for their team championship. See Harvey close at the moment, and Morris has managed to get back past Harvey. I believe that might be Timo behind. In fact, it is Timo behind Harvey. So Timo now coming past. Is Harvey going to make it easy? No, I don't think he realizes it's Timo. I'm sure he'll be getting blue flags at the moment, and Timo is going to be taking it very easy. So blue flags waving there at the moment, so I think Harvey's finally seen them. That has of course helped Jason catch up slightly. At least Timo doing well to avoid any contact. Sometimes you can get caught out by a slower driver as you're lapping them. You have your rhythm and your brake markers set. You're doing well to avoid there. Now Jason's turn to get past, as we see once again. I think that's Hilton off again. And that's Marius van Wyk now spinning there. So he's just reversing off the track, getting himself out of the way. So good sense of the driving there, Marius. Thank you. Right, so Chris now behind Harvey. And Harvey slowly being swallowed up by everyone, but still doing a solid job in 11th place. Basil from Rain will be the next to come past Harvey. So Harvey's got quite a nice gap at the moment in Morris from Vake. Basil getting a nice slide there. And there's corners that you can get a nice drift and actually gain a bit of speed as you straighten the car up and turn into the slide. So currently this is going to do wonders for Timo's championship. I'm sure he'll be catching up quite nicely. With Jason finishing in second and Chris third, they will also most likely be knocking Mika down a place, maybe two. Unfortunately, Mika's quite far down, but hanging in there, thankfully. You see Peter Murray just losing it while getting sideways, and he counters it and then just snaps the other way. I think that's going to be into the barrier, indeed. So surprisingly lots of incidents at this round. I wasn't expecting quite so many. It's not the easiest track, but it's also not the hardest track. I know there's lots of undulation which can catch the guys out. This is what has obviously caused the incident with Peter. Oh no, that's a separate incident, excuse me. So Basil van Rijn still in a solid 4th place. After his incident he might actually have some damage, so maybe that's why he's struggling to catch up. But he's still hanging in there. Anything that happens in front of him, as you see, Hilton in the background rolling his car. These curbs are definitely catching the guys off guard. So Timo currently with about a 2.5 second gap. He's maintaining that pretty nicely. It was 2.6 a lap or 2 backs, but still not 2.4. He might just be pacing himself. There's just under 9.5 minutes left. So this is probably the point where tyre wear will kick in. So either Timo has shot his tyres and is now going to start going backwards, and that's why the gap's coming down, or he's just pacing himself. He's coming down at a fairly fast rate actually. It's just dropped 0.3 in the space of a second or two. That could just be the nature of where they are on the track. So we'll keep an eye on that. But Jason at the moment still sitting there nicely. Previous laps were only 0.3 of a tenth difference, with Timo being 0.3 slower than Jason. So the current pace is mid 56s, where our fastest time was a mid 55. The pace has definitely dropped off as the tyre wear has come down. We've got 2 drivers fighting over the same space on the track. Some of the drivers really not having a good round tonight. So Mika Abrams is managing to slowly work his way up the field. He's currently up to 11th place. It doesn't sound like much, but that one extra place gives him just a few extra points to help him fight for the championship. Everyone has a bad round at some point. So a champion is made by the guys that make the most out of the bad rounds. Should never give up. So the gap between Timo and Jason has extended once again, so possibly it was just a certain area of the track, or maybe even as they were going through traffic. So Jean-Andre getting nice and sideways there as well, quite loose. So Jean-Andre right behind Andre Hildebrand at the moment. Andre Hildebrand having quite a good round. He's had pretty good pace at this track so far. I think he's one of the drivers that's a bit more familiar with the track. We have done previous test races here with other vehicles, and he has joined us for a few of those. I saw a marshal holding out a blue flag there. I'm not too sure who that was for. As far as I can tell, there's no leader behind them. In fact, there is. Timo Smith is right behind them. But Timo Smith sitting right behind Jean-Andre Dupenau at the moment, so Dupenau is about to be lapped. That is who the blue flag was for. And in the background we can see Jason and Chris also lurking very closely. So this is where Timo is losing time, trying to get through the guys without having any incidents. I don't think the guys are seeing the blue flags at the moment. Let's see if the marshals will wave another flag. No blue flag waved there. Of course, they're battling amongst themselves. They're not going to realize that they have the leader right behind them. So the gap between Timo now and Jason is under 2 seconds, as he's having to be a bit cautious behind the other cars. So going up the inside of Jean-Andre cutting him off. I don't think Jean-Andre realizes that it's Timo, but it is the race leader behind him. Perhaps Timo should be flashing his lights just to let him know that he is the leader. And Hilton Nickerson has unfortunately had a DNF as well. You did see him with several incidents, unfortunately having a really rough round. Hopefully the next round is more familiar to everyone, being Laguna Seca. You see more blue flags being waved there. Jean-Andre has moved over. Unfortunately he's moved over so much so that he's lost a lot of ground. So now Timo will be right behind Andre Hildebrand. I wonder if they will be aware of it. Let's have a look. Looks like Andre is defending from Timo. Oh no, he's going up the inside there, Bjorn. The two of them having a really good battle, and unfortunately that's just slowing down Timo. And unfortunately, no, I almost said Timo's been passed, but he hasn't. He's really got to get past him now because he's got Jason right on his bumper. Jason and Chris looking to take advantage of this now. So the back marker is not playing to Timo's side. Unfortunately, he's being really held up by everyone. He's having to second guess where their braking markers are, and he's losing a lot of time while trying to also avoid any incidents. And marshal, they're waving the blue flag again. So 3.5 minutes left. You see Morris and Harvey having their battle throughout the race, it looks like it. So at least they're having a good battle there. The lower places, but at least they're still having a good race. And Morris and Harvey are currently 10th and 11th in the championship, or Harvey's 10th and Morris is 11th, so that's for the honours in the championship overall to get into the top 10 as well. So it looks like they finally have cleared Andre Hildebrand. Well, they're starting to clear Andre Hildebrand. I'm not sure if he's finally realised that the pack was the leaders behind him, and he's slowly moving over, but there's still blue flags waving. So Bjorn Buchner is the next one to be lapped. Will he realise that he's got the leaders behind him? Will he also start defending, assuming that it's for position? It looks like Bjorn is moving over to the side of the track there. Timo has indeed got past. So Bjorn is aware of the blue flags. Will he let Jason up the inside? Yes, indeed he did. So So Bjorn fully aware of the blue flags. Nice driving there by Bjorn, well done. So Bjorn just moving over to the left, getting off the line, letting the guys get past. Looks like he now has Andre right on him. I'm not sure if he's going to be aware that that's Andre. He might assume it's one of the leaders and let them past. But I think he's still got Andre behind him. In fact, they're pretty close there. So Jason and Timo are right together now. Now Timo's work starts all over again. So a minute and a half to go. Jason's now right behind Timo, so it's all to play for at the moment. We've got Chris right behind as well as Basil within striking distance if anything goes wrong. In fact, Basil has fallen back slightly. He's just behind Bjorn at the moment, so I'm sure Bjorn will move over for him shortly. Jason running slightly wide. You don't lose too much when you get on the grass. You probably lose about half a tenth to a tenth doing that. So he's just lost a little bit of ground on Timo. So this will be the final lap with Timo crossing the line with there's Morris on the track there. Hopefully he's not coming back across them. As we see Harvey losing it, connecting Morris. So they've had a nice long battle. Unfortunately, it's ended in the worst possible way. And Morris is the one that's come off worst by that. So Harvey just making a mistake, losing the car and unfortunately taking out Marius. So the battle for the win. Timo ahead of Jason Underwood at the moment. It's coming right down to the wire. Jason trying everything, getting all over the tyres, all over the sand there and throwing up dirt everywhere. Managing to keep it on the road in the final turn, but I don't think he's going to have enough drives. He comes across the line. It's Timo Smith taking the win from Jason Underwood and Chris Collison, Sean Collison, Chris Collison in third, and Basil van Rain managing to salvage a solid fourth place. Stanton Augustus in fifth place. Bjorn Buchner has taken a solid sixth place. Well done, Bjorn. Andre Hildebrand, solid seventh place. So some good battles throughout the field, at least. Unfortunately, there's been a lot of incidents, but some good, solid results for some of the drivers. Let's see if we can get the results. So, Timo Switch from Jason Underwood, from Chris Collison, from Basil van Rain, Stanton Augustus, Bjorn Buchner, Andre Hildebrand, Jean-Andre Duppenard, Herman Nivoet, Mika Abrams taking a solid 10th place in the end, so doing well to recover. Peter Murray 11th, Marius van Wyk in 12th, Harvey Goos 13th, Rian van der Westhuizen recovering to some points at least 14th. Hilton Nixon with his DNF will still get 15th, Ross Human will still get 16th, and Peter Geldenes will still get 17th. So they still get some points for at least being here. Unfortunately, they don't get the glory of getting a nice victory as we see the drivers coming back in. Alright, so I'm going to clear this and then we can head off to an ad break and go find some of the drivers for an interview. I'll be back with you shortly. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are currently joined by not the top 3, but the top 2, 3, and 4. Unfortunately, Timo is not with us at the moment. So, Timo, if you're watching the stream and you're still around, come jump back on and have a say in the commentary. So, at the moment, we have our second place, Jason Underwood, with us, our third place, Chris Collison, and our fourth place, Basil van Rijn, with us. So, let's start with Jason. Jason, quite an eventful race. I saw lots of impacts, guys making mistakes, collecting the walls, unfortunately some of them coming back, collecting guys on the track. I even saw one of the drivers losing at the top of the hill and his car being beached there or stuck there, and several drivers collecting it. So you did well to survive everything and get a solid second place, which is amazing for the championship. I'm going to check up on the points in a moment, but how was the race from your point of view?
Hi Dennis. The race, well, I've never sweated so much in my life. That was difficult. That was a tough race. With such a big field and a small track, obviously back markers were, everywhere. So to try and navigate them and people going off, and trying to catch Timo up front because he's pretty quick. So yeah, it was entertaining. But yeah, no, it was good. Good, clean racing. And yeah, just wow, I'm tired. I'm gonna go to bed now.
You say clean racing, but I did see quite a few incidents, but I think most of them were pretty much just racing incidents. It wasn't malicious driving. So I think the nature of the track was sort of the fast sweeping corners, and the guys just get a little bit of a tire on the grass and they get the car sideways. Yeah. It causes quite a lot of havoc.
Yeah, when I say clean racing, I'm speaking from what I saw from us top 5 up front.
Yes, yeah.
There was always space given, which is nice to see. So yeah, all respect and to the top guys that were all in that top battle. So yeah, it was entertaining. It was good.
One of the things I did notice was that when you guys caught up to the back markers, it seemed like some of them didn't realize that you were lapping them and they were just doing their own race and defending from you. And then eventually they realized that you were the leaders and they moved over. So that was quite interesting because it allowed you to catch up to Timo, who had about a 2.5 second gap at that point. And you looked like you were going to take the win from him, but he managed to just hang on in the end.
Yeah, as I say, Timo was super quick all weekend, or when I say weekend, all day. So yeah, fully deserved. I gave it my absolute best. But yeah, the best man won at the end of the day. So congrats to him. But I'll take the second, and I think that's a championship lead, if I'm not mistaken.
You are mistaken. You're in second place by 1 point from Timo.
Oh, is it? So Timo's ahead by 1 point now.
Yes, and Chris is now in third, and Mika has now dropped down to fourth place. Oh, so it's a good solid position there for the team 4 Above Racing.
Oh, okay. All right, well then my calculations must be wrong because he's only 1 point behind Mika and 10 above Chris. So
yes,
anyway,
maybe the Timo ones caught you out.
Yeah, all right, no problem. Well, Timo, I'll get you next one.
And then Chris, great result in the end, a solid third place. It looked like you were going to maybe fight for second, but ended up only getting third. Solid points as well, so your championship's looking good. You're currently third place. You're now ahead of Mika in the championship, with only your teammate and Timo ahead of you. So how was the race from your point of view? Any incidents, anything to report?
No, so I enjoyed the race. Pretty pleased with third, to be honest with you. Congratulations to Timo, fantastic win, and to Jason with his second. I felt it was survival of the fittest for a lot of it, who could negotiate the back markers the best and avoid any incidents. Other than that, there wasn't an awful lot of difference in pace between the top half a dozen. So, yeah, well done to Timo. I enjoyed it. It was good fun.
And then Basil, good to have you in the commentary with us here. Unfortunately, you weren't on the podium, but you were pretty close. It looked like at one point you were holding off second, challenging Timo, and just maybe put a wheel on the dirt and spun off. Ended up taking fourth place, and right at the end you were catching up with the pack to the back markers and also got quite heavily held up by some of the back markers. But otherwise, how was the race from your point of view? You've missed a few races and you've rejoined again. Give us the race from your point of view.
Yeah, the first few laps was, yes, I was just trying to keep up with Timo, and yes, his pace was not fast. But I'm still learning. The tires are going off quite fast. So that was interesting. And at the back hill, that hillside, I hit a back marker standing on the side of the road.
Oh, is
So
that what happened?
I spun out, but luckily rejoined quickly and just tried to catch up again.
I think that's the car that I saw that had an incident there, and then it was just to the left with the front half of the car sticking on the track, on the race line.
I just missed it, but I clipped his nose. Can happen.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for the guys that it looked like he collected probably 3 or 4 cars. So yeah, it's just unfortunate. Obviously, he was trying to get out because I saw he DNF'd after that, but he obviously couldn't get to his button enough to maybe the car had stalled or something. So yeah, just unfortunate, a racing incident. But
I mean, Chris and JB, nice clean racing from them, and that's the type of racing we want to do. So
yeah, there's some good racing. The top 5 were nice and close throughout the race, apart from your little bit of a mishap there. But yeah, the pace between you guys, I mean, you were like usually 0.1 of a second difference between your lap times, so it was really close. So well done to all of you.
Hey, thanks, Dennis. Thank you.
And then let's go back to Jason. Jason, would you like to give a shout out to anyone?
Yeah, well, my parents have flown over from South Africa, so they're currently sitting behind me, supporting me with their pom-poms and everything, so thank you to them. My dad's got his army back in Cape Town that have been shouting and screaming on the chat, so yeah, thanks to them, and obviously to my ever-trusty teammate, Chris. Well done, boy, and we move on, bigger, better, stronger for the next one.
Speaking of your parents being there, so hello to the Underwood family. I believe your father's company is your sponsor that you're running on your car. Would you like to give us a bit more information about that?
Yeah, so the sponsor we're running for Team 4 Above is Express Exhaust Mechanical Workshop. They're based in Cape Town in Sea Point. They do all mechanical repairs. He's been in business there for 35 years. So if you're ever in Sea Point in Cape Town, give him a shout. I'm sure he would love to have a chat with you and fix all your car problems.
Yes, do you perhaps have any contact details?
Yeah, so I will have to... So his mobile number is 083 573 6004, and it's John Underwood.
All right, and if I'm correct, your father John was an ex-Formula 1 driver.
Grandfather. His father was.
So your grandfather, yes.
So my grandfather, yes.
All right, and your dad has taken over the business.
He's taken over the business, yeah, for the last, I think, 16 years. So,
right.
family-run business.
So anyone that supports him will be supporting a fellow racing competitor.
Exactly, yeah. It runs in the blood.
Congratulations on all of you.
Thanks, Dennis, once again.
Pleasure. And Chris, any shout-outs from your side?
Yes, please. Thanks to you, Dennis, for everything that you do. Brilliant. Thoroughly enjoy it. I really enjoy racing with you guys, and I would like to say hello to another one of my grandsons. This will be Albie this time. Hopefully he's watching. Unfortunately, he's got a bit of chicken pox at the moment. So keep smiling, lad, and I'll see you soon.
All right, congrats, and hopefully feels better soon.
Thank you.
And Basil, anything from your side? I believe you also have your own racing leagues that you guys are running with some of the other guys. Do you want to give us a shout out through Red Lion Racing and whatever else, any other events and sponsors and things?
Yeah, just a big shout out to Andre. He always helps a lot. And this whole morning he was trying to help me to set up rFactor, and Red Lion. He's running Red Lion at the moment. And to you, Dennis, I mean, the last half an hour before the race, you came in to help me. So, just a big thank you to you.
A pleasure, anytime. Hope you have some fun.
Yeah, thank you.
And then I'm just going to do the final goodbyes for the evenings and say also thank you very much to Alwin, Automotive Glass and Aluminium for helping us for everything they've done for us. So if there's anyone that needs anything relating to automotive windows, you can get hold of Alwin on www.alwin.co.za. So if you need truck windows, bucky windows, caravan windows, whether it's the glass, the aluminium frames, you can get hold of them. They are, I believe, the largest glass manufacturer for automotive glass in South Africa. So give them a shout. And if you enjoyed what you watched tonight, please like and subscribe. And apologies again for the start of the stream. Not too sure what went wrong with my upload. But after an emergency reboot of everything, managed to at least get the race. So thank you to everyone, and hopefully we catch you all next week.